Welcome to another episode of Good News Glenn. Stay tuned, it's all coming up next. Welcome to another episode of Good News Glenn. We're so excited to have Mr. Bill Fallon with us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us again this month.
Absolutely wonderful. We're actually in the month of February. So let's go through any updates you have for this month, and then we can talk about who we're going to be interviewing today.
Sounds good. Well, we just got back from Atlanta. And in fact, I think I mentioned on the show before that we go about every year. We go up once with the chamber with a big group from the community, but we also go by ourselves just before that group, just so we can have some key meetings with some of the legislators up there, but also some of the state departments that are up there that we need to try to partner with on many of our projects. And so this year was another great trip. The two agencies that we really deal with the most are GDOT, Georgia Department of Transportation, and then also DNR, so Natural Resources. And so this year, again, great conversation that we were able to have with GDOT. And I'll talk a little bit in a minute, if you'd like, on some of the projects that we discussed, and then same thing with DNR.
Yes. Yeah, we want to hear about that trip and remind us again, kind of like the, one or two or three things that were really the important issues that you wanted to discuss, and I want to say maybe some of them was the having to do with the beaches or the lighting, but anyway, tell us more about the purpose of the trip.
Well, with GDOT, as you know, last couple of years, we've been able to get some funding from GDOT on top of what we get every year from them. And so this year, again, they are going to look at a couple of our projects to potentially help us out with some funding. One is Old Jessup Road. So Old Jessup Road, we actually have 5 different phases of projects on Old Jessup Road, but a couple of parts we're just simply doing some widening. And so there's been widening that has happened in the last year or so, and it's made really a safety improvement, because you know how narrow that road is and how much used it is. And so just by adding about 18 to 24 inches on both sides has really made that more of a safe road. And so we asked them to support us doing more of that. So we're going to try and widen from Scranton Road going kind of northwest towards 341 for another phase. And so they said they'd help us this year with that. So we should be able to get some money from them by the end of this fiscal year, which is the end of June. And so that was one. And then another one that we talked about was Perry Lane Road. So Perry Lane, we have a bridge replacement on the SPLOST project list. And so they recognize that. They recognize that as an important road for us to try and get some traffic off of 341 over to the spur, so they don't have to actually use Old Jessup Road. And so we'll continue with them. Design for that bridge is going to start in the next couple of months. And so as we move along with that project, we'll be able to reach back out to them and hopefully get some money, some additional resources from them the next fiscal year.
Okay, awesome. Yes, the road construction and safer roads and widening roads, it's all so important, but it takes a lot. So to partner is great to hear.
Yeah, and as you recall, last year they actually helped us with that Canal Road roundabout quite a bit, and then they also helped us by putting in an additional roundabout at the end of the spur and on 99, which was really a safety problem. And so every year they come through and they help us. And I think a lot of it has to do with the relationship that we built and the fact that we go up there prepared with our projects and ask them to partner with us, mostly for safety reasons.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we appreciate that. Everyone in our community, I'm sure, is so thankful that you take the extra step to go there and establish the relationship year after year.
And then the other one was DNR. And so we're still trying to work with them on what we're going to do for solutions out at the beach. And so we're going to be working with them. We're in the middle of putting together a an application for a permit for the sloughs that are out there, and hopefully we'll have our permit in hand for that northern slough, which is closer, which is the Driftwood Beach access point that we have. And so looking to build a boardwalk there. It's above the dunes, it's above the water that's out there. And so it'll help us safety wise for getting emergency equipment out to the beach, but then it'll also be a much better access for our visitors and our residents trying to access the beach from that point. We're still working on that southern pool, which is closer to Massengale. Develop some wildlife habitat. So we're working through some issues with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife and with the Army Corps of Engineers, and then also with DNR. And so more to come on that. We're still trying to come up with a solution that works for everybody.
Okay. Excellent. Yes. Anything else? That's big for February. You said you just got back, so that's huge for the beginning of the year. Anything else for the month of February?
Yeah, we had our quarterly execution reviews on our strategic plan. So those are posted. We recorded it, so it's on YouTube. So again, anytime you want to watch, but very informational. This is the last year of our current strategic plan, and so we're getting closer and closer to getting all the work done to meet the goals that were set forth by the Board of Commissioners. And so I got a couple of highlights there. That's why I have my glasses on. I can actually read these.
Yeah.
If you want to go through some of the highlights that we had.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. So the first day was essentially goal one. And as you know, we have 3 goals. So goal one is cultivate a culture of service excellence. And this is really for us to make things easier to do business with Glynn County, more efficient. And so we started off with finance. And so finance is actually doing a great job of actually getting our vendors processed electronically, so they don't have to come to the PAPE building to make payments or to do any of the work that they need to do with us. And so that we're actually getting closer and closer to increasing that number. I think we're at like 23% of our vendors right now, but we hope to get that. And our ultimate goal is to get to 100%. So we're going to keep working on that. Licensing and compliance. We're 100% compliant with all of our short-term rentals. So there's actually a total of 1,734 short-term rentals. 1,507 are on St. Simons, and so that's good. We actually have a new software that we're going to break out here soon to do some more scrubbing, because I do think that there's probably some individually owned short-term rentals that are probably not compliant. So we're going to be able to find those and then get them in compliance. And then also open records requests. We actually had 7,613 that were received in 2025, and so we average about 3.5 days to get those requests closed and sent out. So it's a lot of work, but we plug away every day at that. And then 2 more. So then community engagement through our HR. We just participated in the bridge run. We probably had about 40 county employees out there at the bridge run.
Wow.
Last weekend. Yeah, it's fantastic. Wow. Great day. Benefit the hospital. And then they just do a lot with our internal servicing of our folks. And then procurement. We're getting more and more vendors to bid on our projects. And so obviously that means that the more competition we have, the more those prices come down. So we actually added 435 new vendors into our OpenGov portal this past year. So we're going to keep growing that number. And then all kinds of IT infrastructure improvements, upgrades at the library, and we're actually getting better at hosting our public meetings without any technical glitches. And so,
oh, good.
Yeah, if you remember a couple of years ago, every time we had a meeting somewhere, there was somebody couldn't hear, or something went out. And so they're getting much better at that. We're actually having less and less, if any, really, problems with our public meetings. And so that was goal one. That was the first day.
Okay. What, anything else? Or that?
Yeah, there's a couple more. So, I got so many.
I know.
I'll just hit the highlights. And so
okay.
Goal 2 was kind of develop a connected community where families live, work, and play.
Yes.
We got our, in planning and zoning, we got our reviews done. So when somebody submits for a permit, we actually got our reviews down to an average of 5.2 days for a turnaround. So that's down from 14 days, and our goal is 7 days. So that's another great improvement. Code enforcement, they're responding to issues 7 days a week. They actually conducted 1,150 mobile home inspections. Building inspections, you're going to hear from Dave Carver, and so he can talk more about that. I won't steal his thunder, but then Parks and Rec, just all the improvements that we have across the board at really at all our parks. And we're starting to advertise for Blythe Island a little bit more as well to try and get some more people to camp there. And so that is ongoing. And then Public Works, 132,000 linear feet of roadside ditches, 412 pothole repairs, and then over 9,500 miles of roads that were actually swept. And so, some of these numbers I'm just throwing out there, they're stats. You can find them all on our website and our homepage in our strategic planning documents. And then same thing with public safety. Just I could go through the Emergency Operations Center is coming up later on this year. We had I think now all total, we have 246 total CERT participants. So these are our volunteers that help us. Animal Services, man, I can't tell you how many volunteers we have. We actually have 470 new volunteers that came on board this past year. And so that's just, they help us with adoptions and fostering. Fire just calls for service, 19,278 calls for service. Police, 34,445 calls for service. So all those and more, there's a lot of stats, a lot to take in, but that's the kind of stuff that we talk about at the QERs, just the impact that all of our departments have on the community.
Absolutely, yes. But it's a well-oiled machine at this point, I feel like. So you can handle it, but it's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. And just getting more efficient, streamlining. And there's kind of this theme, Team Glynn, every time I talk to a new person, it seems like one of the main goals is to make everything easier for the people and the citizens of Glynn County. And that can be done in different ways in different departments, but streamlining everything is great. All this online, able to register and apply for things and get things done online is super helpful, as well as, of course, all the other big things that are going on. So it's a lot, but y'all are doing a great job.
It is. It's just incredible. And the staff we have is fantastic. It all starts with the commissioners and they set the goals and they set the policy, and then they attend as well. So they know they're engaged and they know what's going on in the community as a whole, and they know what's going on in the districts, and the at-large certainly know what's going on across all the different districts. And so, but I will say that, we have challenges too. And so part of that quarterly execution review process is to identify challenges that we have. Those areas where we're not able to quite meet our performance measures or quite meet the initiatives that we need to get those goals completed this year. And so we'll address them. We'll keep working on them. But what I wanted to do at first when we introduced our performance measures was really try and stretch some of our departments and give them some goals to achieve. And so not everything is green. That's okay. We use a green, red, and yellow, green, yellow, and red kind of concept. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, but there's some yellow things out there and there's some red things out there. And so that's where we can help. That's where the commissioners can help, and we can figure out ways to achieve all those performance measures that we set forth.
Yes. Well, you can't do everything in a day, right? It's you just one day at a time. But yeah, anything else before? No,
that's it. I know that you have Dave Carver coming on this month, and so he's done just really a tremendous job in building inspections. And so he's got a group of builders. They meet, they go through, I think they have like brown bag luncheon meetings and some other events that they have to try and go through some of the requirements that we have, try and shore up that process as well, make sure they understand the rules. And so Dave is really good about working with the community.
All right. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. See you in March.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Welcome to another episode of Good News Glynn. I'm here with Building Inspector for Glynn County, Dave Carver. How are you?
I am good. Thank you.
Good. So yes, tell us your official title, and then we can kind of go from there.
All right. Official title is I am the Chief Building Official, and I am also the Director over Building Permitting and Inspections Department.
Okay. So that's a big title and a big job, I'm sure. So tell us about how long you've been with Glynn County and kind of everything that you do there at your job, and then we can get into some other things as well.
All right. I started with Glynn County in October of 2014, so I am I have 11 years with the county, going into my, actually working in my 12th year. Started off as the building inspector and plans examiner under one of my old longtime friends, Ellis Carter, who was the building official before me. So I had about 7 years as a building inspector and plans examiner in the office. Went to another department for the county for a couple years, and then Ellis retired, and I came back over and took his place as the building official. And believe it was July of 23, so it's been 2.5 years now as the building official. Prior to that, I have been a local builder here for many years, and I am still a licensed builder in the state of Georgia. I just don't practice. I just keep my license active.
Okay, nice. What does it mean to keep your license active? Do you have to like take a test every year? What does that mean? Or you just get?
Just have to carry a minimum amount of liability insurance. We have to renew our license every 2 years with the state,
Okay.
and have to take continuing education each year to fulfill
Great.
that requirement. So
Okay.
it's a good license to have, and I won't let it lapse or get voided out, because after I get done with the county, I may go back and build a little bit. So
Sure. Good to know. Good to know. We'll keep you in mind. Yes. And yes, so your department, tell me about, you pretty much oversee if somebody is going to build a house or do an addition or whatever, they might come to you and get some sort of permit. Tell us about that.
yes, ma'am. So what we do, our main purpose is to issue permits and inspect construction during the process. So a client or a customer will come in and fill out an application. Well, this is what they used to do. We do it all online now, but they'll fill out an application, submit building plans. My department will take that in, get all the information, make sure we have all the proper information. I have a plans examiner, which is something I used to do. He will review the plans and make sure that they meet code requirements. It does go through some other departments as well to meet zoning ordinance. It'll go through the GIS for licensing or for addressing, and depending on what type of project it is commercial, it could go through joint water and sewer, engineering department, and that kind of thing. But we all do a review on it, and then when they are compliant with everybody, we will issue the permit once it is paid. And then we rely on the builder or homeowner to actually call in the inspections as the process goes. I have a team of 4 inspectors that go out every single day to St. Simons, Jekyll, and mainland Glynn, and do inspections for anything that's been called in for inspections. They stay busy most of the time, all day long. So I also have I'm also in charge of the condemnation process. I have a condemnation coordinator that identifies dilapidated properties, either herself or by our code enforcement team that goes out and surveys area for code violations. And they'll let us know if they see a property that looks like it can fit our condemnation process. She opens cases up on it, does the investigation, gets a hold of the owners. I actually go out, I put my eyes on every single house or building that is recommended for condemnation to determine if it can be condemned or not. She's been very good at, when I do condemn them, getting the owners to actually come in and get either a demo permit to tear down or a building permit to renovate. It's been pretty good. It's only been a handful that they're sitting over there with our attorney that will be waiting to go to court.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So several other little things that I take care of as well, but it's all in the regular day scope of work.
Yes. Okay. So a couple things. So this is just for fun. If you have a house, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what requires a permit and what doesn't. So for example, say you have a house and you're thinking, I just want to make some changes to the interior, not going to touch the exterior. Everything is within the footprint of the house. Does that require a county permit or no?
It depends on the scope of work.
Okay. Just
because it's interior, if you want to take down a wall, it could be a bearing wall, and it's supporting either the weight of some rafters or a beam. So that'll need to be permitted because that's a structural issue. Also, if you remove any walls or add any walls, you're going to have to put either plumbing in the wall or electrical in the wall. So all those require a permit. But people that just want to renovate and paint and replace flooring and a mirror and stuff like that, that does not require a permit. A new roof, as long as you don't go into the framing of the roof, doesn't need a permit. But pretty much anything that deals with mechanical, which is the AC system or ventilation system, the electrical, the plumbing, or anything structural is pretty much going to be required to have a permit.
Okay. And that's typically up to the builder maybe, or the contractor to sort of go through that process, or is that just up to the homeowner?
Either or, because the homeowner can do their own work on their primary residence. If it's anything other, if it's a rental house or a house that they're going to flip, the state of Georgia requires you to have a licensed contractor. So you have a licensed contractor, they're aware of what they have to have and pretty much the requirements to get a permit. And if they have any questions, they always call us. Sometimes we catch them working without a permit. They think, well, we didn't think we needed one. So, we explain the process to them.
Okay.
Go from there. Homeowners, the same way. We're not out looking for working without permits. Usually, I would say 90% of the time they're reported to us and we go out there and investigate.
Okay. And how long would it take to get a permit? I guess it varies from each situation is different, or is
Yes, ma'am. We try our best on the residential to get you a permit within a week.
wow.
We have guidelines that we're supposed to be doing reviews every, within five working days, 7 calendar days. Most residential permits, if everything is good on the plans and the scope of work, usually can get turned around in 3 days or so. Commercial sometimes takes a little bit longer because there's more people reviewing. And a lot of times we'll need a revision and a resubmittal sometimes. But we usually get to them pretty quick. Because everything is there in the on the plans. I've seen it 1, 2, or 3 days, depending on how quick John can get them out.
Wow. Yes. Okay. That's great news. One thing I want to talk about is the ordinances. I wanted to ask you, there have been all these new ordinances. Everybody's talking about them. I wanted to ask you, how are you dealing with that? What is your department? How is your department handling those new ordinances?
Well, planning and zoning, which used to be part of community development with us when we were divisions, handles all the ordinances. Okay.
Okay.
And they're handling the rewrite of the ordinance right now, or actually, I think it's pretty much done. They're just going through the review process.
Yes.
They review the plans per ordinance. I review the plans per building code. Now, we do have to enforce some of the ordinances as well, but that's after they're already made official, of course. But my direct responsibility is building code, which is everything, of course, vertical. We do, like I said, we deal with the ordinances, but we have no involvement on writing them except for me filling in for whatever issues they had with the building department for what's required for what type of job.
Right. And I know this has been a long process for planning and zoning and rewriting, and then
Yes.
putting it out to the public and getting their comments, and then maybe some tweaking based on the feedback that they're getting. Is there anything else that stands out to you that's a pretty significant change that has kind of affected your department in a good or bad way?
I don't think so. I think a lot of it has been massaged and probably more clarification in there. There's another one in there that would always keep us guessing, and that was on a substandard lot, which was under 6,000 square feet. They had a height restriction that is different from our normal 35 feet or 45-foot roof height restriction. And it was based, I guess, on that development, which planning and zoning would be able to answer that question. But, well, I was going to go over some highlights that we accomplished this year.
Yes.
The one I really like, we have a new program called OpenGov that we do all of our reviews and permitting through. That was implemented a couple years ago. It was actually in the process when I came back to the building department They were getting it all set up. So we converted over to it because we had some bugs and everything. But IT has been very good in getting this thing customized for us in our department and working out the little bugs. And I think it's been great. And what we've been able to do is transition from paper plans, the big 2-foot by 3-foot plans or any size after that, and dealing with all the paper. So we are now all electronic submittals. We go through, everybody has to go through our online portal, which is through our webpage, and submit electronically and attach PDFs. We do all the reviews online. The permit is issued on, they can pay online. So it's more streamlined, and it's been a big plus because we don't have all these paper plans hanging around here. Like in the past, if one of the members were needed to do some reviews, they may take some home and do some reviews or something and then forget to bring them back the next day. And we're all looking for plans to review, and they're not here. So now everything's electronic. We don't have that issue anymore.
That's a huge change. Yeah, that's a huge change. That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
All right. Also, another great accomplishment was to remodel our front area where our permit techs sit. Is basically, if you've been in the Pate building on the second floor, you get off the elevators, we're open to the corridor and everybody passing through. So my techs up front, they're on the phone talking to builders and homeowners and anybody else who calls, and you have all this noise flowing through the corridor and it echoes, and anybody coming out of the meetings, out of the meeting rooms is just really loud. So we were able to get funding, and we enclosed the whole front area, and now it's an office. So you actually have to walk in. So it pretty much eliminated all the noise. So it's that was a good accomplishment for our department to have that. So really
That's
nice.
Great. Yes. Yes.
Another one is when I came on as the building official, one of the guys was still here that I used to work with, and we had 3 other new inspectors, and he was the only one with certifications, and he retired, and so therefore our other guys were working on their certifications. So at one moment we were all working on certifications. Well, the great news is 2 of them, all 4 of them got their certifications. The 2 that got theirs first actually went on to get their second and third, and that's a requirement for them to be promoted to senior inspectors. So 2 of my guys are now senior inspectors. The other 2 are working hard and diligently to get that second and third one because they want to be promoted as well. So I think it's a great thing, and they have really come along and did a good job. So
that's great. Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody wants to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
Not just one certification, multiple certifications. That's
Multiple
great.
certification. And what that does, that helps our scoring. There's a program, I can't remember the exact name of it, but they'll come in and they evaluate building departments. And it's a building effectiveness evaluation. And we get scored on how well our guys are trained, certifications, among a lot of other things. So and that score that we get transitions to our CRS score, which is for our flood management program. Mm-hmm. And we're currently rated as a 5 for our flood management program, which is about the highest that we can get without hiring extra personnel to dedicate to the program. And that gives us about 25% discount on our flood rates, everybody in the county.
Great.
So it correlates to just not them being, being certified. It also correlates to other entities that we have to look after. So I think that's a great thing as well. So I feel a whole lot better now that everybody is certified, and we can move on and continue to get more and just, make them better at their job. So
that's awesome. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So in this past year, we also conducted 2 lunch and learns in conjunction with planning and zoning for our development community. We went over all kinds of different subjects, and also IT also joined us and went over our new portal and online submittal process for the builders and for the developers. And that really turned out well. We had a good showing on both of them. And next Wednesday, the 25th, we have another lunch and learn that we just put on by the building department and the fire department, and we will be going over all the new code changes that took effect January 1. We were adopted, the state adopted the new 2024 code book. I know it's 2 years late, but that's what it takes. The 2024 code book comes out, the state DCA team go through it, and they analyze it, and if there's some things they don't like in it, they change and have amendments to the state of Georgia. So it usually the January, the year and a half after the code book comes out, that gets adopted. So the state adopts every 6 years. So 2012, 2018, 2024. The code book comes out every 3. So it comes out on, the other years was 15, 18, and 15 and 21. We do not adopt those, but those codes that get into those transfer into the next code book as well. So we're going to go over all these significant code changes for our area, for all the builders and developers that sign up and come in. The fire marshal will be coming to give a lecture on fire safety and any changes in the fire code. We have just recently had 2 houses burned down that were actually under construction, and the safety precautions I do not believe were in place. So I think that's going to be a good discussion because they were welding and soldering.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I don't know the details about that, but they're going to come talk about it.
Okay.
And go over safety procedures, which is I think a very good thing to do because I don't think we've ever had a class like this before. So.
Wow. You don't think about all those little details that are actually huge.
Yes. Then one other thing, one of my goals when I came back was to get the Home Builders Association started again. I couldn't do it myself, so I contacted a couple of builders, and they ran with it. And before I knew it, they actually got a new charter for a Home Builders Association. The last one dissolved back in 2011 or 12, financial reasons. Can't really go into that, but so it's been 12 years or so, 12, 13 years, and just got rechartered late last year. We've had one meeting. They should be coming up with another meeting. They're doing quarterly right now. They've expanded it to surrounding counties. Camden County has had their own builders association, but I think they're talking and possibly combining. So we'll have, McIntosh County, I believe, Wayne County, I think Charlton County. So there's several counties that are grouped in with us, which will have a larger contingent, which will be great for any issues that we can take to the state and the Department of Community Affairs for any issues. Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's a great thing. It's going to take a little while to get going.
Yeah.
I know they're going to have some fundraisers and stuff like that to generate some funds so they can do some projects. It'll be another good place for builders to eventually get some continuing education credits that we have to have every year. They'll be able to sponsor that and maybe get somebody to come in and give a class or two. We used to do it in the past. So used to have a pretty good membership in the past. So hopefully we'll get that grown, and that'll be a good thing for our area. And another good thing about it is where either my inspectors or myself will go to these meetings, and we can just disseminate any type of information that we need, that we have seen or learned through inspections or the building community. Doesn't have to be all bad. It can be anything good that we see as well. And my intention is to be at every meeting that I can possibly be at, and my inspectors will just come as needed. So I think that'll be a great thing. And kudos to everybody that was involved to get that started, because it was a lot of hard work, and I think some of them sunk some of their own money into it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All inspired by you.
Well, I just lit the fuse, I think. Yeah. I really didn't do anything else except for I promote it. So I talk to the builders. Have you joined? You need to join. Please join. We need you there. That's where I can disseminate and give you information if you need it. So if you're not on the job site and I show up, well, when did this change? Well, we had a class on it and you weren't there, or you're not a member. It changed back so-and-so. So.
Oh, yes.
I think it'll be great. So, but I do promote as much as possible.
Great. Yes, I don't know how you have time for that because you're clearly so busy with your job as the official. But it sounds like you have a passion for it and definitely the right person for the job.
Well, thank
So
you.
you're
I
welcome.
do. I love it. And my goal is here is to make it better for the next person that comes in behind me. Um, and we're getting there. So, and then next person that comes in, they can run with it and hopefully make some good changes as well. So I have a great staff. We have a great team of senior management above us. And so I think for the county, from top to bottom, we're looking pretty darn good. So.
Yes, it sounds like you made some amazing changes that are um, great for your staff, but also make it better, like you said, for the department as a whole and the community at the end of the day. So that's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. I like relationships. So, I
Right.
try to build relationships with everybody out there, especially the builders. There's some I haven't seen in quite a while, but I'll talk to them on the phone here or there. Getting out in the field, I do get to go see them every once in a while. So don't get to get out there a whole lot, but trying to change that because I want to do some additional training with my guys from my knowledge out there in the field as well. So.
Yes, absolutely. Well, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, ma'am, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you again so much for your time today. Like I said, I know you're busy, your staff is busy, but we appreciate everything you're doing and we appreciate your time. So thank
Thank you very
you.
much. It was my pleasure. You take care.
Thank you so much. Good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So another great session with us. I hope you enjoyed talking to Dave Carver. It's good to get some of those people that you don't really hear from very often out and get them, let them tell their story, which hopefully he did, and I'm sure he did it well. But we got plenty more that we can maybe get on future episodes. And so, with that, it's February. Don't forget about us at the Stubilee. Our Glynn County team will be defending our crown as overall winners of the Stubilee. And so that is Saturday, February 28th over here at Mary Ross Park.
Cool. Yes. Well, good luck for another win this year.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Join us again next time for more Good News Glenn.